Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my May TBR. I'm taking it much easier on myself in the month of May after the crazy reading month that April was. Stay tuned for my March and April wrap up. They will be combined because I missed my March wrap up to see how I did on my Aurelium prompts as well as for Realmathon and all of the things. So that should be coming soon. Like I said, I am taking it easier on myself. I mean, the amount of books on my list is still pretty long, but there are fewer huge, chunky adult fantasies on here, which I really feel like I need a little bit of a break. I've been reading a lot of big books this year, and while those are typically my favorite, I just want to read some smaller things in the month of May. Before hopping too far into it, I want to introduce myself as I usually do. Hello, my name is Emily. On this channel, you'll mostly find bookish content, such that you are watching right now, but this is my second channel, not my main channel, so I just upload whatever my little heart desires on this channel, which my biggest passion outside of the beauty panning space, which is my main channel, is reading, so that is what I mostly film videos on, but I also love my vegetable garden and other motherhood related videos. So if that's something that interests you, then please do subscribe before leaving today. But let's hop into my reading plans for the month of May. Throughout this year, I have been following Stephanie Bookverse's TBR Star Hop. So that is an original TBR game that Stephanie does. I didn't replicate her board or anything like that. I just follow along with her roles and choose books for myself. It has been a really fun way for me to give my reading some variety while also providing a challenge. Also this year, I'm doing a ton of buddy reads and channel read-alongs. I just really wanted to dive more into the bookish community. So I'm actually going to start off with a couple buddy reads that didn't fit onto my TBR Star Hop. Also in the month of May, there is the Final Book support group for the first 2 weeks. Those are to read the final books in series, so I've definitely fit one of those on. And there's also the 72 hours in the Smut 10. I think that's the second weekend in May. I'm very excited for that. Get in some short smutty books. There's a light wheel and a dark wheel. I can link the announcement for that down below. And then there will be the 48 hours of Bookopoly. There is a lot going on. Let's just get into it. First buddy read that it didn't fit into TBR Star Hop is Guild by Raven Kennedy, I believe. I'm blanking on the author name right now. This is a fantasy romance that I am very eager to get to. I've heard mixed reviews, but mostly on the more positive side. This is a King Midas fantasy retelling where the female main character is kind of like the King Midas type character. I don't know if that's his name in the story or not. His pet, he touched her and turned her to gold, but she's still like human. Like she can speak, eat, move, but she is completely gilded. You know what I mean. And apparently there is not a lot of plot and a lot of sex scenes in the first half, and it's not till later in the book that you get more into plot and where the series is going to go. It's a 4-book series. This is for the Fantasy Romance Book Club by Sahar. Basically Bookish Reads, I think, is her channel name. Everyone I talk about will be linked down below because I am a little scatterbrained, as I usually am when I film these videos, because I just run into my room, turn on the camera, and try and get it done in between mom things. I'm very excited to follow along with her book club. Fantasy romance is a genre that I have wanted to dive more into, and she has like the next year planned and all the series we're going to be reading. I'm very excited for it. So Guild is the May book club pick, and I will be reading that on KU. Secondly, I am joining the Red Queen along from Rise Reading Corner and Marissa from Genre Garden. They are hosting a book club kind of channel read-alongs, focusing on series that they have always wanted to read or maybe reread. So we're starting with Red Queen. Now this channel read-along is fast-paced. We're reading 2 books a month because they just want to read a ton of series as fast as possible. I actually just, before they announced it, it was 1 week after I unhauled Red Queen. This is by Victoria Aveyard. And my best friend, Rebecca, read it. I've been talking about her like every single month. Me and her are reading Throne of Glass together this year. And she kind of like walked me through it, gave me a little bit of spoilers because I was like, oh yeah, I don't think I'm going to read it. I've had Red Queen on my shelf for a million years and it just doesn't seem to interest me. It's an older YA fantasy series. Fans really didn't like how it wrapped up, and there was like a book afterwards that needed to come out to tie up loose ends. And overall, I was just like, you know what? You're right. I don't think I'm going to love it. I unhauled it, and then a week later, Rise Reading Corner and Marissa from Genre Garden mentioned the read along, and I was like, I really enjoy those ladies. And honestly, they're doing it at a fast pace. We're reading the whole series in like 3 or 4 months. I think I'm going to try and hop on and do it and power through the series. Like I said, it's going to be fast. It's not going to be a series lingering on my list of series I need to finish for a million years. And if I don't like it, I don't have to follow along with the whole channel read along. So I actually don't completely know what this is about. Just that your like status in society is based on the color of your blood. And the royalties should be silver. I'm not sure, but in May we're reading Red Queen, the first book, and The Cruel Crown, which is a novella that goes in between books 1 and 2. And then in June we're reading books 2 and 3, and those are both chunky books. But like I said, these are YA fantasy, less than 400 pages for Red Queen, 142 pages for the novella. So I think I'll be able to power through these really fast. But apparently not power through my descriptions very fast because I'm rambling. I'm not including books I need to catch up on this time. They're the same ones. But on to TBR Star Hop. There were 6 rolls this month. If you don't want to be spoiled for any of the rolls, then be sure to watch Stephanie's video first. It's linked down below where you can watch her play her game. I am just taking her reading prompts and fitting books that I want to read on there. And mine aren't set in stone. If I read a different book that fits the prompt, then that is great. It's not my TBR game. I don't take punishments, anything like that. First roll was a final book. So that works perfect for final book support group. I'm going to be reading Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is the 4th and final book in, the Lunar Chronicles. I have mine from the library. This is the longest outstanding series that I'm reading. I plan on also grabbing the audiobook for this. I tend to either immersion read or just kind of flop back and forth for this series. The audiobooks are really good. These are fairy tale retellings, but YA sci-fi. And overall, I really enjoyed the series, but I can't really talk about what this book is about. Next, she rolled a standalone, and I have this out from the library. I believe this is a standalone. It's Fool Me Once by Ashley Winstead. She also wrote In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. This was the book therapy book club pick for April, and I wasn't able to fit it into Aurelium or anything like that. So this is just a romance book, and I think I need it to fit in between the fantasies. It says Lee Stone is a 21st century woman. She kicks butt at her job at a company, electric car company better than Tesla. Thank you very much. Lee has learned one big lesson: never trust men. 4 major heartbreaks set her straight, from her father cheating on her mom all the way to Ben Latterman in grad school, who wasn't actually cheating, but she could have sworn he was, so she reciprocated in kind. Ben shows up 5 years later, working as a policy expert for the most liberal governor in Texas history. Just as Lee is trying to get a clean energy bill rolling, things get complicated and competitive as Lee and Ben are forced to work together. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it sounds like a good time. Lots of people really loved it and gave it 5 stars. Like I said, I believe it's a standalone. However, this truly isn't like a top priority for me. If I don't finish it this month, I'll just return it to the library. No harm, no foul, because I didn't get to it for the book club and the book club discussion. That's a text chat only book club, so it's not like I can go rewatch a live show or anything like that. So For standalone, I might try and fit in a smutty book for like within the 72-hour Smut Den, or something through Becca's Bookopoly. Like, that's a pretty open prompt. Speaking of the Smut Den, the third role was a book with a cold setting, and I was humming and hawing. I had considered the second book in the Winter Night trilogy, like after The Bear and the Nightingale, because I loved that book, but like the flowers are blooming. Like, I really didn't want to do that right now. I'm just not in the mood. So Ice Planet Barbarians is on my May TBR. I don't know what the heck I'm getting myself into. Well, I do know what I'm getting myself into. This is alien smutty romance. Can you even call it a romance? A group of women is kidnapped by one group of aliens and then crashed on the ice planet, maybe, and then they all get married off and matched up with these blue alien dudes. I think it's going to be very weird, very uncomfortable. What the heck? But I want to read it. I think it's going to be cringy fun. They're short. It's on KU. Perfect for the Smut Den. Hopefully I roll on the wheel something that will fit for that. Who knows? Next, a book over 500 pages. My best friend Rebecca and I are on to Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. This book is 700 pages. Much chunkier than it looks. Again, like these thin pages just throw me right off. We have already started this. I'm on chapter 16, and this is going at breakneck speed. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time reading through the Throne of Glass series for the first time this year. I am loving it. The first, like, Throne of Glass and the third, Air of Fire, were like not my favorite, but I loved Crown of Midnight, loved Queen of Shadows, loved The Assassin's Blade, and so far I'm loving the Empire of Storms. So this will be no trouble. Rebecca and I read 5 chapters per day, so this will 100% be done, and it's definitely over 500 pages. Next up, new to me author. The Patreon buddy read for Stephanie Bookverse is The Air Awakens by Elise Kova. Again, a book that is on KU, so my Kindle will be getting lots of use this month, which I'm very happy about. Again, this is a new adult fantasy romance series with elemental magic. I don't know much beyond that, except for that it has been all over TikTok. So I hope it's good. I have mixed feelings on books recommended to me on TikTok, specifically like fantasy romance, smutty type books. We'll get into that in my wrap up in another video, but I think this is going to be a quick read. It is under 400 pages, and I'm looking forward to trying out a new author as well. Lastly, we got TikTok on the spinner wheel, and I chose Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. Kind of regretting choosing this because it's way bigger than I thought. It's like almost 400 pages. Yeah, this is a Hades and Persephone retelling. Kind of. It's like, someone said it was fantasy romance with no fantasy, which doesn't make any sense. Like, this is contemporary, but the characters are based off of Hades and Persephone. This is smut with not a ton of plot, but apparently there's more plot in this series than her Wicked Villains series. I'm confused. The one with Desperate Measures has like no plot and only smut scenes, and this one apparently has plot, so I chose this one for a TikTok book, even though both of those could work. But I had also, before I realized it was almost 400 pages, was going to put this in the 72 hours in the Smut Den, but now I don't think that is going to work. However, the 2 first roles for Becca's Bookopoly were a short book, so under 300 pages, and a book with gods. So I think I'm going to go with the book with gods. I had hoped to like combine those, but I don't have anything on my shelf. I don't think that is under 300 pages and has gods in it because I don't have any graphic novels on my shelves, and I didn't know what to get from the library. If you do have a suggestion, leave me that in the comments below, because I have like almost 3 weeks before that starts, so I have time to get a different book. So there were 6 rolls for TBR Star Hop, which is very doable for me, plus the 3 other buddy reads that are shorter and fast paced. So 9 books that are my priority. And then I have Valor, The Wall of Storms as well, which those are 2 chunky guys. So my TBR is pretty large, but more doable than they have been, if that makes sense. So I'm going to stop rambling. I feel like my videos are always way too long. Let me know in the comments below what books you plan on reading in the month of May. Are you joining any of these buddy reads, book clubs, channel read-alongs like I am? If you did enjoy today's video, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!